In 1992, Manchester Neighborhood Housing Services was founded to provide quality, affordable rental housing and home ownership opportunities, and address disinvestment and blight in deteriorating neighborhoods. Today, NeighborWorks Southern New Hampshire continues its mission, transforming communities, neighborhoods, and lives.
In late 1989, as president of the United Way of Greater Manchester, our organization had finished a really comprehensive strategic plan for the community. Affordable housing was number one or number two.
We needed a relatively sophisticated nonprofit to come into the city to take on that ability to work with the neighborhood, work with city officials to help save the heart of that city and get rid of some of the deteriorating elements that we saw taking over that heart of that city.
Neighborhood Housing Services came along at a very opportune time. They came along at a time when the city was really in distress, heading into that deep recession. And, if it were not for them and us cooperating with them to get all the horses together to make it happen, I dread to think of what the neighborhoods would look like today. They have been a very important force in redeveloping and revitalizing the housing in the center city, with the business community, the financial community, and the community at large. Without all of those pieces coming together and everybody wanting to make their contribution, the program would never succeed.
It's interesting because I became a police officer at the same time that Manchester Neighborhood Housing Services came to the city of Manchester. And when I first got assigned as a police officer in Manchester, I walked the inner city walking beat, me and two of my partners. To us, we were just patrolling a neighborhood. But as we began to form a relationship with the folks then at Manchester Neighborhood Housing Services, we started to see more than just a beat. We started to see a neighborhood that was in decline that needed help. I really think it's what's the springboard of community policing in the city of Manchester was that initial interaction. And it was, we're walking a beat, we're getting to know people, and we got to know the people at NeighborWorks Southern New Hampshire. And it really, it's changed the face of the way we do business in New Hampshire.
Prospective employee drives through the city. What do they see? Is it a crumbling heart of the city, a dumpy downtown, or do they see a vibrant community?
And it was amazing. I could see the progress, one building at a time.
I've always thought that one of the things that makes Neighborhood Housing Services and now NeighborWorks unique is that a couple things. One, it has always had a very strong connection to the communities it served. And a great deal of community support, which is important to its success, and also, I think, to its ability to identify what the needs are in the community and then to respond to those needs.
I had the really good fortune of being one of the group of people in the organizational committee stage of this whole venture. It's hard to believe it's been 25 years. But clearly the reason I was involved then is the same reason I'm involved today, and that is because I believe that good, clean, safe, affordable housing is really at the top of the food chain with regard to so many other basic human necessities.
I think about that evolution in a very positive, serious way. And that speaks highly of leadership of the organization, both at the board level and the staff level. And it speaks highly about the strategic vision that the organization has for the people it serves.
What they have done is continually evolve to kind of fit whatever the changing situation is. The programs have evolved over the number of years.
And if we're going to clean up the neighborhood, we have to empower the people to want to clean it up, feel proud of their neighborhood, and it'd be easier for us to police it. NeighborWorks Southern New Hampshire is one of those suitable guardians that really elevates the quality of life in a community. A suitable guardian is a police officer. A suitable guardian is a landlord who's attentive to his building. A suitable guardian is a neighbor who cares about the next door neighbor and is not going to accept illicit activity that's happening there. Manchester Neighborhood Housing Services helped us get a substation up on Peachtree. And before you know it, we actually have probably the first established community policing unit in the country
For us, the first priority, this is the safety for my daughter and for my family. I'm not worried. She can go and play, and she can go here in the parking and play. And in the old apartment, you can find this all the service and safety, and it's big different. I have many neighbors like a friend.
Yo vivía rentando, ¿verdad? Pero no era mal el lugar. Yo rentaba con Southern New Hampshire y viví 10 años en la propiedad y era como mi casa también. Pero después quería un lugar más amplio para mis niños.
I had my 4 children to think about, and that was a big driving force for me. Owning our home really has provided us a foundation, and I think a foundation is super important if you want to build anything. And the foundation of having your own home, the stability that it provides when it's done right and when it's done well, allows you freedom.
NeighborWorks set me up for success with their home buying seminar. They gave me the tools I needed through the seminar and the one-on-one counseling to put me into a place that I could afford and that I could live in and grow in.
It's good when you have someone that can encourage you, because it is a scary process. I mean, I was only 24, so I was like, am I dreaming here? Like, can you really own a home? You know, it was a lot of responsibility to take on. They taught you how to save up for a down payment. They worked with you in how to fix problems with your credit report, like if there were any collections, any discrepancies, if maybe there was credit fraud on your credit report, they helped you clean that up.
Era mi sueño saber que podía comprar una casa. Me gusta Manchester y tener una casa aquí era parte de mi meta y mi sueño. Tomé las clases para aprender cómo comprar la casa y saber todas las cosas que se necesitaba para calificar para comprar una casa.
Right from the very first day that my children and I walked into this house, this place has provided safety for us. It's provided a place that we call home, and it's given us something that always holds us together. Like, I absolutely see myself staying here. I have no plans of going anywhere. This is my home, and this is where all my 4 children got raised, and this place is full of memories.
I love that my children had a safe place. I think that's good. De ser dueño de un terreno en Manchester, en New Hampshire, yo creo que eso es bueno.
I just thought it would be a good idea to invest in myself and my future and my kids.
To put down roots for my daughter and give her a great place to live. Being a homeowner has impacted my life in a very positive way. Also has impacted my daughter's life in a very positive way. We've had stability. We've always known where we were coming home to. I thought it was incredibly important that they thought that a homeowner's voice, somebody who'd been through the program, was important on the board.
It is really about having healthy communities, having an adequate supply, having opportunities for people to be homeowners if that's what they want to do, having adequate rental housing for people who aren't ready or don't want to be homeowners is also critical to a thriving business community. Even if you are not personally challenged in your housing situation, you should think about the people who are, and the fact that by helping them identify opportunities, by helping them become homeowners, by helping them get stability in their housing environment for them and their families, it actually is helping your community economically, ultimately, as well as in a very significant social way.
Safe and affordable housing is so critically important to the overall environment and betterment of community throughout our entire state. Safe and affordable housing is really important to businesses of all sizes and types, and we don't really appreciate that until we don't have it. We try to go and hire a worker, and guess what? There's no worker because they can't afford to live here. And that's a real issue that we're facing in the state of New Hampshire today.
If you really believe in something, you want to commit your own time, money, whatever skills you have. Rental housing in today's world is not easy to do, particularly rental housing that's affordable.
The collaborative aspect is really positive for New Hampshire.
The issues from the 90s and the issues of today, particularly around the drug prices, the quality of life in the community, are still very similar. Which tells me that there is a deep need for NeighborWorks Southern New Hampshire to continue to do the fine things that they're doing.
One other thing that I think is also true about NeighborWorks in its progression and history has been a true culture of excellence in terms of the work that they do. And there's always been, from a funder's perspective, a high level of confidence that they're going to execute well on the projects that they take on. And that's really critical to being able to continually engage and to fund and support the work that is done.
I attribute the success, the long-term success, and 25 years is a long period of time, to the organization's adaptability, their innovation, and their opportunistic look at being able to accomplish any number of challenging new objectives. The landscape has certainly changed dramatically over this period of time.
What has impressed me the most is how NeighborWorks Southern New Hampshire responds to what the needs are.
One thing that we've learned from the past 25 years is that NeighborWorks Southern New Hampshire is really good at what they do. And I've seen it firsthand. I've seen it in 1992. And I'm seeing it today.
I'm very proud of the job that they've done and the job that they continue to do.